I kind of hope the Cubs win tonight so that we can have the next game on Tuesday be a win here so that we can win the World Series at our own home turf.
Huh. I just want them to win.
Welcome back to Can You Not? Episode 42, aka the life, universe, and the everything of this show.
I'm upset with everything.
And life. And the universe.
God, go away, Joe.
Our theme for today, would you like to summarize exactly?
Oh, I forget. Let me go back.
It's kind of like hidden objects, Easter eggs.
It was hidden things / hidden features / Easter eggs.
It was soap poisoning.
That is a great movie, but that's not what we're talking about.
Maybe we'll do a whole episode on soap poisoning sometime.
Yeah. I found on my Messenger app for Facebook on my phone that you can go back in and, like, if you don't have somebody friended and they send you a message, Facebook just kind of doesn't tell you about it.
Yeah.
Like, it just kind of gets put somewhere and you kind of sort of got to dig it back out again. And it was funny because I was going back through these, like, messages because I found this thing. And, like, I found this message from this woman, I want to try and find it now, who, like, was really angry about something that I said. Like, she told me I was a terrible person, and of course I think this thing that I think, and blah, blah, blah. She hasn't been on since 2013, but I really want to know what I said to her. So I was thinking about, like, things that you can, like, go back and find, like, after all this time, and, like, something like that out of context sure does look weird. But I didn't really know if we could make something out of that. Like, that was my original topic.
Right.
So what I Googled was digital time capsule. And I guess there are websites and things that you can, like, make time capsules on digitally for your kids and stuff. And then I just looked up time capsule and I learned, this is where the actual topic is, that in 1936, a physical time capsule called the Crypt of Civilization at Oglethorpe University was buried, and it's intended to be open in 8113.
Whoa.
And
Ryan's face was like, what?
I know. It's like the future, man. Like,
The super future.
Yeah. So what I was thinking about is, like, I don't even know if there's gonna be an 8113.
Will it even be preserved that long?
Like,
I feel like anything will be gone in the dirt.
I don't like. Wow, that's really far away. And I'm trying to imagine the kind of optimism it takes to bury something for 8113 while right now we're like, oh my god, our grandkids are going to, like, burn to death from global warming.
It'll probably be forgotten by 81.
That's the other thing,
Like,
too.
It'll probably be forgotten by...
Why did they choose a date 6,176 years later is what I want.
Why did you just pull up Google Calculator?
Because I had to know.
But I guess that's just kind of what I was planning to talk about. I'm trying to come up with, like, a good way to frame this. But it's just, like, the difference, I think. I don't think time capsules are as big of a thing anymore. I don't know. Because, you know, everything is so kept track of. And just with the way things changed, just, like, the level of optimism. Like, do you think people even think it'd be worthwhile to do something like bury a bunch of stuff in the ground for later generations?
My parents, when I think it was my first birthday, made a time capsule at my first birthday party that I opened when I turned 21 in February.
Okay.
So...
Did they bury it, or did
I
they
don't know
just
if
give
they
it to
buried
you?
it or if they just hid it somewhere in my house. I'm like, oh, let's take it with us. Yeah. But
What was in it?
there were a lot of 1995 things, including an Indians World Series 1995 shirt that I wore.
Yes!
And I've
Nice.
been wearing
That's
for the
awesome.
Indians.
That's awesome.
There was a lot of stuff for the Browns. cards, letters from people. Those were interesting.
I bet that would be really
Oh,
cool.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, that was very interesting. Reading what people thought of me at 1 year old.
Actually,
where people thought I would be. That was the really interesting.
Did you write back and say, "Dear person, I'm sorry, I'm not like."
Right. I'm not the president at 21.
Actually, I saw something online, and it was supposed to be an idea for parents, but the idea was they had like all their family members when this child was born write the child a letter, and then I don't know how long they waited. I don't know if it was 16 or 21, and then when she turned that age, she was given all these letters, and a bunch of the people, like I think it was something like 7 of the 35 people had passed away. So it was like these words from these people.
Wow.
And I thought that would be really cool. And that kind of reminded me.
Well, forgive me for asking if it's too sensitive, but was there anybody who is now deceased who had written the letter?
No, but a lot of people that I didn't remember, and people that weren't really in my life aren't really in my life as much. So
That's really cool.
yeah. But speaking of digital time capsules, have you guys seen how Facebook like throws your past at you now?
Every day you log in, it's some embarrassing thing from high school.
Yeah, like, why did I type this?
This is what you did in 9th grade.
I thought
on
it
this
was
day.
funny.
Do you remember like a million years ago, there was, I don't remember her name now. I'd have to go back through like my memories of Facebook. But there was this girl who committed suicide, and everybody was mad about it because they said she did it for attention.
What?
It was like
Yeah.
a big deal.
I
Like
do
she,
kinda
it
remember
was,
that.
it was. I think her name was like Kelly or something. It was this very, very common name. But yeah, and people were saying she did it for attention because she had like made a YouTube video about it or something.
Yeah.
And like I just remember thinking like, how do you kill yourself for attention? You're dead.
It's not gonna work.
It's
That's
It
not
doesn't
gonna-
matter. Like,
Yeah. So like all these historical, not really historical, but these like things just kind of.
It's interesting, like when you think about it, people have, I think, become much more sensitive in the past few years to that kind of stuff in terms of like understanding mental health. I think in a very minuscule way. I think it's.
And the
it's
other
But
thing
interesting.
too.
people are still throwing, who was it, Kid Cudi under the bus.
Oh
It was
yeah,
mental.
like Drake. Come on,
Yeah, Drake.
dude.
That's
That's
stupid.
messed up.
But like I think it's kind of interesting, like because when they were doing the time capsules, I feel like it was kind of a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know because I wasn't alive then, but it seems like now we actively try and like create memories. Like
Yeah.
we have scrapbooking, which I think is super weird. And like taking pictures is one thing, but like this idea of documentation of everything is so prominent because you
Oh,
know you
yeah.
have parents posting their kids' pictures on Facebook. You can like put life events on Facebook. You
Yeah.
can create timelines.
We could probably do a whole episode just on that. I feel like there's so much that we could talk about with that.
Oh
Like,
yeah, just the excessive documentation of everything.
Yeah.
Now.
And it'll be very interesting for, say, like our generation's equivalent of children, because they will have access to a past in a way that no other cultures ever had. You know, literally like minute by minute records of how their parents lived and grew up, and like that's really crazy to think about.
Something I think about a lot is like, I think this is something you can already do, but like using a Facebook as a memoriam, like getting
Yeah.
like copies,
Mhm.
maybe not physical copies, but like copies of like what this person said. Like if you figure like if Facebook has an equivalent, like by the time I'm like old and then I die and then my family wants to know, like it won't be like digging through a box trying to find a picture or a letter.
Right,
It's
it'll
literally
be
going to be,
typing.
here's everything this person said starting like
Yeah.
in 7th grade if you want it.
Yeah, I
like,
think it's the other interesting thing on Facebook. It's like the feature where it shows the history between you and another person, like
Oh,
your
yeah.
whole history
Yeah.
on. Well, obviously only on Facebook. Like, but what if like Facebook and Ancestry.com linked up, and it was like
Mm.
they could go back in your past and find out who you're related to that's on Facebook or.
Huh. Yeah, like
No.
in the future, kind
Yeah,
of. Thing. Yeah,
yeah.
that'd be really interesting. And yeah, I just think like, and this isn't quite what we're talking about, but it still is really, really striking. Maybe they were just doing it to be absurd, just to see if it would work. But the amount of optimism it takes to plan
Yeah.
something that far in the future.
I kind of like the idea of it just because, like, so much of what we value is so, like, at our fingertips at all times. You know, like, I've made a lot of videos in the past, and for a while when I was younger, like, I would rewatch a video I made, like, 4 years ago, and it wouldn't be as special to rewatch it anymore because I was so familiar with it. But to have something that is literally intangible to you, or at least...
Out of touch.
Yeah, out of touch. Like, I think that's really interesting. Like, now when someone shows a video clip that I don't remember that making, like, 10 years ago or something like that, it's so much more special in a way that if, you know, instead of seeing the ones that I've seen a million times of things that I've created.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I feel that way. I write, so, like, when I go back through stuff. Although, the other thing, too, that changes is, like, very recently, I post stuff on DeviantArt, and, you know, people can view it and favorite it and stuff. And, like, very recently, somebody, like, favorited something from, like, forever ago.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, we're almost out of time. And, it was something that I thought was really, really good at the time, and it was terrible. So, like, that was fun. It's like, oh my god, this is really bad, actually. Okay, well.
I would love... I've heard of a concept where people have, like, a bad teenage poetry night where they go through their old stuff
god.
and read
I
their
could
worst.
spend hours.
I would love to do that.
I could spend hours reading all the garbage things I wrote.
I don't know if Brian has anything like an equivalent
Oh,
of
I'm
that.
sure I do.
Maybe even like an old essay that you wrote or something. I think we should do that for an episode
Maybe.
sometime.
I don't. Oh god.
Let's do it.
Can we maybe? I don't.
The Can You Not Time Capsule episode.
Ooh.
So, when Amber mentioned the idea of hidden objects, I immediately thought of Hidden Valley ranch dressing.
Oh my god.
And,
Joe. No way.
Oh my god.
I just thought, why is it called Hidden Valley?
This is real?
This is real. I found a story on the hiddenvalley.com website, which I'm going to read to you. It's the story of Hidden Valley.
There's Sweet Baby Ray's all over.
I guess I like sauces. I work at a sauce place. Over 50 years ago, Nebraska-born cowboy Steve Henson dreamed of striking it rich. So, along with his high school sweetheart Gail, he did what so many young men before him had done and headed west. Outside Santa Barbara, Steve stumbled onto 120 acres of sprawling land, nestled in the mountains and filled with streams, waterfalls, and picturesque views. The family bought the land in 1954, and the Hidden Valley Guest Ranch was born. At the ranch, guests enjoyed the great outdoors by day and the home-cooked meals by night. But it was something else that brought them back again and again. Delicious homemade buttermilk salad dressing made with a special blend of herbs and spices, lovingly prepared by the proprietor. The original ranch copyright dressing. Guests loved it and asked for jars to take home to family and friends. Soon there was so much demand for the dressing that a mail-order business began shipping Hidden Valley, registered trademark, ranch dressing to an ever-growing fan base. Today, ranch is America's favorite dressing, sold across the United States and in more than 30 countries, found in thousands of restaurants and enjoyed on everything from salads to pizza. You can still enjoy the perfect taste of original ranch, registered copyright, as well as tons of great new flavors born from our rich heritage. So now you know everything you wanted to know about the origins of Hidden Valley.
Why'd you read that, Joe?
How much time is left? Do they have time for Sweet Baby Ray's?
Oh, actually, the other thing I was tying into that, since we learned about the origins of Hidden Valley, I looked up other foods with interesting origins.
Oh gosh.
You may have heard this. This is fairly common knowledge, but did you know that fortune cookies are not actually from China?
Yeah.
Where are they from?
A graduate student from Japan who was researching the origins of the cookies told the New York Times in 2008 that the biscuits are really an old Japanese creation. Nakamachi saw a factory near Kyoto that had been around for 3 generations and made cookies that were very similar to the fortune cookies you see in America. But they were very popularized in America. Like, even though they had these origins with these cookies that were created in Japan, America essentially created what we know as the modern day fortune cookie.
I feel like that's what America does with all the food.
Also,
this is Mexican food.
Speaking of which, churros are not Mexican.
I don't even. What's a churro?
It's like a fluffy kind of.
Oh, the cinnamon
fry.
thing?
Yeah, with cinnamon on top of it.
They have Oreo churros at Cedar Point.
Really?
I want to eat them, but
I
I've
kinda
never
wanna try
tried them.
It says they don't know whether it was Spanish shepherds, Portuguese sailors, or Chinese who invented churros, but we know it was not invented by Mexicans. Some theories say that shepherds invented the treat when they realized they were easy to make in frying pans over the fire, and named them churros due to the breed of sheep called the churra that originated in Iberian the Peninsula. The other theory is that Portuguese sailors discovered similar pastries in China and brought them back to their country. Then Spain picked up the churro trend and twisted it into their own. Furthermore, ketchup has origins in China. Did you know this? It first meant fish sauce in the Chinese dialect of the Fujian province more than 500 years ago.
They can see Amber's face.
This is why we need to do a video episode sometime.
I don't understand anything that's happening right now.
Apple pie is not American, and croissants are not French.
Apple pie is an American? It is
Neither are
now.
hamburgers.
So when you say American is apple pie, it's bullshit. Apparently, it was the British who were first to invent a sweet pie. The first pumpkin pie recipe, in fact, is seen in a British cookbook from 1675. And apple pie was first mentioned in a historical document written by British poet Robert Greene. He says, "Thy breath is like the steam of apple pies."
If somebody was breathing apple pie breath at me, I would be very upset, actually.
Apple
So,
pie.
no thanks.
Oh, God.
Furthermore, spaghetti and meatballs are not Italian. Everything
Joe,
you know is a lie.
Where are you? What are you doing, Joe?
Yeah.
Joe is not Poggi. Dun dun dun.
No.
Actually, surprisingly, spaghetti and meatballs were invented by Italian Americans. That's a rare thing. I guess that is a truly American dish in that way. We don't really have too many of those, I feel like.
But what is, what would be an American dish? America is made up of a billion different cultures.
Right.
So what would be an American dish?
It would
Big
have
Mac.
to be a bunch of different... I guess that's a truly American
Big Mac.
dish.
Big Mac? Even hamburgers
I was gonna
were
say.
made in
No,
Germany.
I'm not even saying hamburgers. I don't think the
Big
things
Mac.
that they put on Big Macs are actually hamburgers. You know, okay, really fast, can we pause? Because a thing that makes me super mad is when people are like, what are veggie burgers even made of? And I'm like, they're made of soy and vegetables usually, and sometimes cheese. And they're like, oh, that sounds weird. And I'm like, well, what do you think your burger from McDonald's is made of? Do you think that's ground beef? There's probably like 20% beef in that, and then the rest is soy bullshit. It's not.
Yeah.
And that's all I had.
Oh, man.
That's the thing.
I went to a little mom and pop diner the other day while I was waiting for my car to get fixed, and it was a place called Mom's, which I thought was really cute.
There's
and they
a
had
place
saw that.
called Mom's.
Yeah, and there was a place. Well, okay, one of the things on the menu was mushroom burger, and I was so excited because I feel like not too many like mom and pop diners have that kind of thing. I made a big mistake because I ordered it. It was the burger with mushrooms on top of it.
Come on, Joe.
I was
You
like,
should know
I
better.
should have asked, but I was so excited that they had mushroom
You
burgers
should
there
know better.
because I love mushroom burgers.
That's okay. Did you eat it?
I took one bite and I was like, and I looked and I was like, oh, and I asked them. And indeed,
And then they looked at you like you were crazy.
yeah, she was like, can you not have beef? I'm sorry. I was like, it's okay. I just like didn't know I should ask. Like,
It's fine.
it's fine. Speaking of which, did you know the Big Mac is neither big nor Mackey? In fact, it is a small. No, actually, it was created by Jim Delegati, who was
I need you to see Amber's face.
who was operating several restaurants in the Pittsburgh area. It was invented in the kitchen of Delegati's first McDonald's franchise, located on McKnight Road in the suburban Ross Township. It had 2 previous names, both of which failed in the marketplace. The Aristocrat, which consumers found difficult...
Whoa!
Yeah, I'm gonna start calling it the aristocrat.
I would like an aristocrat. Like
Can
what?
I have an aristocrat, please?
Which consumers found difficult to pronounce and understand. And the blue ribbon burger. So
I
try
like
that
the
one.
aristocrat better.
Did you see? This is also kind of related, I guess. That a Burger King somewhere, I don't remember where, in New York, dressed up as a McDonald's for Halloween.
Oh,
As a McDonald's.
They
That's a
threw a
ghost.
sheet over the whole Burger King and like spray painted McDonald's on the
Oh
outside.
man, that's funny.
I was like, oh my god, it was magical.
Well, this ties in with your topic, Amber. Have you heard the concept of secret menus?
They're stupid,
Oh, yeah.
and I hate them because everybody
not
shares
on
the
the menu.
Starbucks secret menu, and I feel so bad for the baristas who like have these people come in like, I want a super secret Snickers mocha magic latte, and they're like, what does that mean?
You're like, we should
They
know.
didn't teach me this.
I think the only thing that I've ever seen that wasn't on the menu that people know how to make that I order is their green tea latte, because it's not always listed on their menu, but
okay.
people know how to make a green tea latte, so
If you're wondering about the McDonald's secret menu,
it's stupid.
a Big McChicken.
Is
Big.
that a gangbang? Is that what that is?
It's
Because there's a sandwich, the secret menu I always see from McDonald's is called a gangbang, and I think it's a McChicken inside of a Big Mac.
Here it is, the McGangbang.
The McGangbang.
One of the most well-known secret menu items. This is vulgarly named but tasty meat combos. So next time you go to McDonald's, Brian, order a McGangbang and an aristocrat and see what they say.
See what happens. I'm so upset. Joe, why did you look up Hidden Valley Ranch?
I really want them to hear Sweet Baby Ray's. That was the greatest story Joe has ever told.
I
don't even know if
can
I fully
handle it
remember
right
this.
now.
Oh gosh.
Let's take a second to thank our sponsor for this week.
Is it Hidden Valley Ranch?
It's Hidden Valley. Actually, you should pay me for all the
They
plugging I
should.
just did for them. Okay, just to cover it up, we do not endorse Hidden Valley. They suck.
I don't eat Hidden Valley Ranch because I don't eat dairy. So I don't like Hidden
They don't
Valley
really
Ranch.
suck, but I want to say they suck so it doesn't seem like we get paid by them. But here's our actual sponsor, BarkBox.com. You ever wanted something for your dog, but you're like, well, I'm not gonna like go to the store and pick it out.
What I thought you were gonna
I'm
say.
lazy.
What I thought you were gonna say is, you ever wanted something for your dog, but I don't have a dog.
I don't. But I know many of our listeners do. And if you're feeling lazy and you're like, I don't want to pick, well, they have a monthly service where they deliver the toys and treats to your home without you having to get off your lazy butt. It's really great. And you can get a free month of BarkBox if you go to getbarkbox.com/canyounot. And from there on, you can try it out. It's really cool. They have different plans, so if you don't want to commit too long, you could do like a 1-month plan, a 6-month plan, 12-month plan, and it's free shipping. And you can even choose the size of your dog, so you don't get giant dog toys for your little tiny pooch, and vice versa. They are shipped on the 15th of every month, so maybe if you're in the middle of a mid-month, slouch, and you just feeling a little down, your dog's feeling a little droopy, it'll come
Your
in.
dog is feeling it's a plant. You need to water it better.
Your dog is feeling like Droopy the dog from Looney Tunes, and you can get this monthly service. So once again, it's getbarkbox.com/canyounot.
It's so great. Maybe I'll even get it for my cat.
Oh,
Just
nice.
kidding. I'm not gonna do that.
Oh.
Although my cat's allergic to fish, so like all those things that you can get for cats,
Yeah.
usually have fish in the treats. So maybe the dog treats wouldn't have fish.
Yeah.
Your cat
Your
is
cat would probably like
allergic.
dog.
My cat is allergic to fish. Yes, he's
Sounds
broken.
Like a tragedy.
But he's cute, and we're
He's
friends. So
broken,
I'm also
bitter, and
allergic to
bullied.
him. So it's just sad for everybody, honestly.
But you two are homies. So
We
it's
are
like-
best homies. Moving on.
Moving on. It all began back in 1985 when a local Chicago boy named Chef Larry perfected his family's recipe for a sweet and tangy barbecue sauce and entered it into the country's largest rib cook-off, the Mike Royko Rib-Off. Chef Larry called his sauce Sweet Baby Ray's after his little brother David, who got the nickname Shootin' Hoops on the west side of Chicago.
His name's David.
On the day of the rib-off, Sweet Baby Ray's beat nearly 700 entrants, an amazing feat for an unknown. The rest, they say, is history.
I like putting that shit on mac and cheese.
Yo, I literally put that every day.
That should be like, if we ever get sponsored by Sweet Baby Ray's, that should just be like, I like putting that shit on mac and cheese.
That's the new tagline.
That's their new tagline for all their advertisements.
But you know what I like to do with Sweet Baby Ray's?
What do you like to do?
Guzzle it from
With some fried fish.
Oh my god,
some
yes.
mac and cheese. And put it on bread.
Nice.
And then put Sweet Baby Ray's on
Okay.
top.
I thought you
good
were just
idea.
gonna say like mash it all up together and then add rice,
That
because
would
that's how
probably
I
be
do
great.
food most of the time. Like mash up all the leftovers and put it over rice and then put a sauce on it and it's usually edible.
This is
Oh,
the
we
free
did-
sponsorship.
We quote don't like Hidden Valley.
And we also quote don't like Sweet Baby Ray's.
I don't think I said that. I don't think anybody doesn't like. I'm hungry, guys.
Oh man.
It's too early. You're talking
Yeah,
about
this is like the earliest podcast. Oh, I have to go now.
What?
Like the thing, I have to do my.
Yeah, you had to do your.
Oh, I thought you meant you had to get up and leave. I was like, right.
It's
Whoa.
his time, Mr. Clark.
I would like to talk about, since you said Easter eggs, human Easter eggs.
What?
Since we have on podcast my favorite human Easter egg of all time, Joe Kowalski.
I don't know what that
What does
means.
that mean?
As in hiding yourself in your projects.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna have to.
Like
Okay.
Stan Lee hides himself in every Marvel.
Yeah. And Alfred Hitchcock is
Yeah.
cameos in every one of his films.
But Joe does the greatest of all times. He
Is
even
it
hid
really
me. Apparently, I was like the best hidden person in One Day a Musical.
You weren't that hidden though, because you had like 10 lines.
Yeah.
It's not hidden if you have lines.
But I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't supposed to have lines.
So when I did Oberlin Summer Theater Festival, we did a show called Crumbs from the Table of Joy, and a thing that had to happen was this table had to roll on by itself. So as like a theater company, like they were trying to figure out like how are we going to do this? Like are we gonna pull it with like a string? Like what are we gonna do? And what we eventually decided to do was put our technical director in the table. So his cameo in that show was, if you watched very closely under the tablecloth as this table, you see his little fingers like and shake him out. And then I guess the whole time like there are people sitting at that table and he was like poking their legs like
That's
during the show,
funny.
and then he had to like inch back off the stage again. And I think that's probably my favorite cameo
That's pretty
for a
fun.
tech person in a show. Purposefully.
I like when someone who was like an extra in a movie becomes like iconic like 20 years later. And then people look back and they're like, look, he's in the background of that one shot. You
The
know?
guy who was Jesse in Breaking Bad had that cereal commercial.
Oh my god, it was the funniest
It's
commercial.
hilarious.
Or finding out former Disney stars used to be on Barney or...
Oh yeah.
And then finding out past Disney stars are now drug addicts.
You're right.
Woohoo!
Speaking of which, did you know they're doing a That's So Raven sequel show?
What does that mean?
What? Didn't they
Is
already
Raven-
do... They did
isn't
Corey
Raven
in the
Simone-
House.
I know, but they're
Is
doing a
it-
direct one where she's like a single mom.
What?
She's raising a kid.
Is the kid
I will be
psychic?
angry with
Probably.
Are they both psychic?
I think they're probably both psychic.
Do they have their brain blasts together? Or
This.
whatever?
It better be
Brain blast.
just as good.
I had
weren't-
a crush on raven-symone when I
Weren't
was
you the
young.
one who showed me the scary pictures of Raven-Symone that are like current? Because some of the pictures
think
she
I
has
did.
as an older person are a little bit
She's
scary.
gone a
I
little
don't like
nuts.
Raven.
She said that she would not hire anybody with a black-sounding name.
Oh.
Like, what?
She also said that she was not black.
Yeah.
I
She's
don't
like,
believe her.
I'm just American. And it's like...
Oh, she might be trying to do the thing where people say if
colorblind.
you don't talk about it, then it'll go away.
Yeah.
But I don't
It's not true.
believe
not true.
it.
Colorblind is not a thing. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find. There is a horrifying.
There are people who are colorblind. We want to clarify.
You're right. It's an actual thing.
We start like some
But as a
conspiracy.
concept,
We, like,
to
piss
eliminate racism.
Seeing the world in limited colors. No. We
Right.
start like a whole conspiracy.
You can see the color red. I know you can. Quit lying, man.
You just want special benefits.
Right. You get a scholarship for saying that you can't see the color blue. Quit lying.
I can't find that
What are you,
scary
a
picture
dog
we
now?
found. That one, because I remember she was like on Oprah or something, and it was terrifying. The picture
I think
of her.
she is pretty
She is pretty, but
crazy.
she says she's not black, which is kind of weird.
Bryce texted me to say that the premise of Raven 2 doesn't make sense because Psychic knew skips generations, so her kid could not possibly be psychic as well.
Thank you, Bryce.
So,
Maybe then it gets really scary. Maybe this is actually not going to be on Disney because then Raven-Symone is getting like these premonitions of like horrifying things happening to her daughter.
She can predict
she,
the apocalypse.
she predicts that she sees that her daughter's like sneaking out. Like she just ruins her kid's life mostly. Like
Yeah, she becomes like a
How
like a
to
helicopter.
avoid mother's psychic abilities.
She becomes like a helicopter mom and is like, no, you can't go to school today because the kids are going to make fun of you. And she's like, Mom, I'm going to school. Like, it's going to happen. Like, whatever.
Raven-Symone sees into the future and sees that her daughter got a bad grade, so then the kid is then grounded. And the kid is like, but Mom. And Raven is like, no, listen, I know this happens.
But the kid sees a premonition that her mom sees the future about the grade. So her goal is to try to prevent,
Oh my.
No, but
prevent
the
her
kid-
mom from grounding her
The
before
kid
it
can't see
happens.
premonitions. What if it gets weird and like the kid grows up and becomes like a scientist and then she wants to like do weird tests on people who are psychic?
See, this is the direction it needs to go. If they're really truly
Why
gonna
don't
bring
they
it back.
let me write it?
This would make me watch it. This would make me more excited than anything.
Sounds horrible. Because I feel like that's a really nice swap for a trope. Like most of the time you have like you have Stranger Things stuff happening where like it's the dad and the kid, or like the mom and the kid, and the adult is doing like tests on the child.
Yeah, yeah.
But if psychic stuff skips a generation, then it could be the child.
Oh.
Maybe she's a grandma in the show.
She's like a 32-year-old grandmother.
Oh my god. Then it becomes a show about teen pregnancy.
Well, no, she like adopts an 18-year-old who adopts a baby. But then I guess that doesn't really make sense of the genetic thing that we've been setting up. So
Yeah, no, adopting doesn't let you pass on your genes, Joe.
Damn. Oh no, wait, okay. She has a child at 14, and then that.
That means she had a kid during the show. Her kid was like 4 when the show ended.
Oh, how they grow up so fast. Oh man. Now we gotta. I'm sorry we took your topic way off.
No, I like this topic.
trying
Let's
to-
continue.
I'm trying to read this thing about the reboot.
Well, the thing is, there's not too many details. She just went on The View and was like, hey, I'm leaving because we're making Raven 2.
The View? What is The View?
I think that Disney
View
should
is
just escape all things Raven now.
If you want to see a great woman talk show, switch to Ellen. Retire.
Oh my gosh, Ellen.
Ellen's best. And
People I had a crush on.
And Bryce
I think I
hates...
still have a crush on her.
I hate to tell you about it. I don't think she reciprocates it.
What?
But Bryce hates Ellen.
What?
She says she's not a fan. Not to out her or anything.
Oh god.
I'm indifferent to Ellen. But I don't watch TV. She was just Dory, so that's all I got.
And you hate Space Jam, so it's okay.
I don't hate Space Jam.
Everybody has so much hatred.
Oh, no.
I like Leica films.
What's the worst show that came back years later?
What are shows?
Girl Meets World. I hate that show.
Supposedly it's doing well though, so they're probably
Yeah,
gonna
it's
keep it
doing
going.
well with the generation that did not know Boy Meets World?
I feel like, so I have an aversion to new SpongeBob stuff just because I see screen caps
SpongeBob
from
is
it
over.
and I don't remember. But they kept doing it after I stopped watching it.
They're about to, like, it's about to be over.
I feel like
No, that rumor comes up all the time.
I
but
feel
it's still,
like-
it's going. They've been renewed for another 2 or 3 seasons.
Really?
Still. Yeah.
Yeah, and also, like, they've had like a dynasty. There's a SpongeBob dynasty.
Yeah,
like,
you're right.
it just goes and goes.
In a few years, they'll be 20 years old.
Oh my good God. That's it. We need to have a really weird day where we just sit down and start. I wonder how long it would take to watch every SpongeBob episode.
Oh man, just a marathon because they're on season 10, I think. So it probably take.
When
a
can
while.
we do a video episode?
We should. That'd be fun.
And I'll dress just like this.
And we can still like make the audio available, but we'll make the video available as well.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. I just typed in 10 or the worst TV spin-offs. We got Caprica, which was a spin-off of Battlestar Galactica. The Love Boat: The Next Wave, which was a spin-off of The Love Boat.
I don't know what any of this stuff
Hello
is.
Larry, a spin-off of Different Strokes.
What are these shows?
Joey,
never heard
a
of
spin-off of Friends. Gotta have heard that one.
What?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
Really? It lasted like 5 seasons or something crazy.
That's weird.
The Tortellis, a spin-off of Cheers. I did not know Cheers had a spin-off called The Tortellis. Gloria, a spin-off of Gilmore Girls. Beverly Hill Bunts, a spin-off of Beverly Hillbillies. After MASH, a spin-off from MASH. The Brady Brides, a
What?
spin-off from the Brady Bunch. Not
The
brunch.
Brady Brunch sounds like a way better spin-off to me.
And of course, Joni Loves Chachi, the spin-off from Happy Days, which is notoriously terrible.
I've never
I've
seen
heard
any of those
any
shows.
No.
I mean, I've heard of the original shows, but never.
I've never watched them either.
Out of time.
You just restarted the timer, Joe.
Oh, I did? Well, looks like we got another 10 minutes to talk
We
about.
can just keep going.
That's so Raven too.
I don't even remember what your topic was.
I don't need that. I'm tired.
Me too.
It's one of those mornings.
Although I also stumbled across Wikipedia's list of television shows considered the worst, and it's very extensive. So I highly recommend you check it out.
What cartoons are there on it?
Cartoons include, wait, hold on. The Adventures of Patty the Pelican.
I've never even heard of that.
6 episodes were produced in the 1950s.
Oh, you don't got it here. I want to scroll. Let me see.
I remember Brickleberry. That one just looked really, really terrible.
I don't know any of
I
these.
think that was something like Daniel Tosh did.
Well, they're probably bad because they didn't get start.
Well, Barney and
running.
Friends, that will satisfy your dad, because you said he hated Barney when you watched it when you were little.
Barney was my first word.
Was it? That's really sad.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I don't
think
actually
it's
know what
fine.
my first word. Dad, what was my first word? Reply in the comments.
If you're listening, Dad, I am sending out a message.
I don't know what my first word was. I feel weird now.
I know what mine was. It was apple.
Yeah?
Yeah. Which,
That seems fitting
Does it-
for you somehow.
I don't know how, though. I don't really have, like, a huge connection to apples.
It wasn't Poggi?
No. It was not Poji.
Darn.
Yeah. If you want to check out more episodes, you can check us out on iTunes. Give us a rating and we'll read your rating on air. You can also follow us on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/CYN podcast. We're on lots of podcasting apps if you can find us on there. We're on Facebook. We're on the Twitter. We are also looking for any sort of feedback or topic ideas. Go to canyouNotPodcast@gmail.com. Send it out to us.
I still want somebody to draw a picture of me.
Yeah.
So
Me
do
too,
that.
me too.
Yeah.
Wait, are there even any Brian pictures? Like,
No, that's the trouble I ran into when they ran an article about us in the Cauldron recently. There's like
Oh,
no
yeah.
pictures of the 3 of us together, so we need to change that sometime.
Selfie.
let's do it.
Well, we're doing
Maybe at our upcoming live show,
Yeah.
which is going to be happening hopefully next month in November at Dive Bar in Cleveland, but we're still trying to narrow
That's
down
this
a
month
date.
now.
No, it's the 30th.
Yeah, but when this comes out, it's gonna
Oh.
be this month, Joe.
No, it won't because it's coming out tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're recording this super
man.
late. It's Halloween. Happy Halloween,
No,
guys.
Halloween's tomorrow.
Happy
But
Halloween.
it'll be today on.
It'll be today, tomorrow.
Or, they could be listening to this like 2 years after the fact. It doesn't even matter.
I was at Griffin's last night with my
2
parents,
years.
and I saw somebody dressed up as a French nun come in, and the person was male, and my mom was like, "Oh my God, that's a guy."
What did we learn today?
Oh no. What did we talk about? What did we?
This is a very rambling
I
episode.
learned that Joe loves Hidden Valley Ranch,
I
but
love
he doesn't.
that Brian loves Sweet Baby Ray's,
I
but he
do.
doesn't.
I learned that they are a lot more optimistic in the past than I am now
That's-
about the future.
And Brian,
That's
if
the
you're
election.
listening, Brian, if you're listening 20 years from now, I'm sorry.
Yeah, if you're listening to this in the year 2183, can you not? How are you listening to this? How do you have the technology to listen to this
What is the
old
new
MP3
technology?
file?
Dude, the same way we have technology to listen to vinyl stuff.
Well, it's even more advanced than that because it's like 6,000
You
years
just
from now.
convert it over and over and over again.
For 6,000 years, this will be preserved.
The
won't be
archaeologists.
forgotten.
Joe, this will be your
converting-
job for the rest of your life.
Making
Keep
sure
converting these files.
to new. Yeah, all right.
Uh,
Bye, friends.
bye.